what do you know about glycolysis?
Absolutely nothing.
Glycolysis, the payoff phase, by Tanner Johnson and Ryan Lancey.
What is glycolysis?
Glycolysis is the metabolic pathway that converts glucose into pyruvate.
It is a sequence of 10 reactions involving 10 different compounds.
During the process, there is a net gain of 2 ATP and 2 NADH.
Now what do we need it for?
So we can do this. And this. And this.
Glycolysis is needed in order to perform cellular respiration and fermentation.
As you can see, glycolysis is the first step in cellular respiration. The preparatory phase.
Glycolysis has 10 steps. The first 5 steps are regarded as the preparatory phase. In the preparatory phase, glucose is split up into 2 3-carbon sugars.
The payoff phase.
The second half of glycolysis is known as the payoff phase because there is a net gain of 2 ATP and 2 NADH molecules. Step 6. In step 6, the 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate from the preparatory phase gain phosphate groups and are oxidized, forming 2 molecules of NADH and hydrogen. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Oxygen. Step 7.
The enzyme phosphoglycerokinase catalyzes the transfer of phosphate groups to ADP, forming 2 ATP molecules.
Phosphoglycerokinase. ATP. Step 8. The enzyme phosphoglyceromutase changes the position of the phosphate. Phosphate. Step 9.
The enzyme enolase causes the 2 phosphoglycerates to lose 1 water molecule, forming phosphoenolpyruvate.
Give me a smile.
Enolase.
Phosphoenolpyruvate.
Come on, man.
Step 10. The last step of glycolysis. The enzyme pyruvate kinase mediates the transfer of phosphates from phosphoenolpyruvate to ADP, forming 2 ATP molecules for a net gain of 2 ATPs. ATP.
Okay, boys and girls, let's review.
Glycolysis is performed so there can be 2 pyruvates for the Calvin cycle.
Glycolysis is made up of 2 phases, the preparatory phase and the payoff phase. The preparatory phase comes first. It's step 1 through 5. The payoff phase is steps 6 through 10.
During the payoff phase, there is a net gain of 2 ATP and 2 NADH.
Glycolysis takes place in the cytoplasm, outside the mitochondria.
That's all, folks.
It's the time of glycolysis, when ATP runs high. In this time, get a lot of energy, and do it twice, 'cause there's 2 sugars from the first half. In part 6, you get an 88. It's the time of glycolysis for payoff. What just happened? In part 7. ATP broke even. What's the point? When we just but wait, there's still much more to come. Numch happens in part 8. Not that much. Another enzyme is applied. It's the time of glycolysis for payoff. In part 9, still more changes. Phosphoenolpyruvate. Then in 10, it's all over. Another pyruvate and ATP. Now you all should know. You really ought to know. It's the time of glycolysis for payoff.
Now what do you know about glycolysis?
Everything.